Yeah, I have a whole slew of interesting stories. The story that I'm going to tell you today is the time that I was almost eaten by dogs while sleeping outside in Manali, India, all to save $3. So, take you back into the Wayback Machine into April of 2014, and if you're doing your math correctly, you'll know that that was this year. It was very recently. It's the most recent story that I have. So I was on a 20-hour bus ride from New Delhi, India to Manali, Himachal Pradesh. I was traveling with these two Australian people who had way more money than I did, and when we arrived in Manali, they decided they were going to stay at an artist retreat. Artist retreat is just code name for I'm gonna take a lot more of your money and give you the same crappy bed as the guy who paid $3. I was the smart guy who was gonna pay $3, and I told them, you know what, you guys stay at an artist retreat, we'll hang out for the evening, I'm gonna leave, and then we'll meet up tomorrow. They enticed me with a bottle of rum and said, no, just stay for a little while, it'll be fun, it'll be fine. And I said, okay, I'll stay and I'll have a drink or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. And at some point, I don't remember how many drinks I had, but I knew it was getting late and it was time to go. So I started staggering down the road of Manali, having no idea where I was going. The only two people that I knew in the entire state of Himachal Pradesh were behind me, and I was walking that way. So I'm staggering down the road, and after about an hour of walking, I decide, you know what? I don't really want to do this anymore. I want to go to sleep right now. And I have a sleeping bag and a tent and all that stuff in my bag because I'm an avid outdoorsman. So I thought to myself, I'm going to hike down there and I'm going to sleep next to the water. I'm going to sleep under the stars, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to see the sunrise and everything's going to be fantastic. Spoiler alert, I didn't make it to sunrise. Slept for a couple hours into my evening, I wake up and I see these 3 dogs walking through my territory. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to Himachal Pradesh, but the dogs up there are huge, they're hungry, and a little factoid for you is 80% of the dogs in India have rabies. So, I figured I'm gonna ignore these dogs are gonna ignore me, and everything is gonna be hunky-dory, we're gonna coexist peacefully. Not the case. Go back under my sleeping bag, and a couple minutes later, I hear this. I hope you got that awesome dog impersonation on camera. Dog as close as you and I are to each other, losing his mind. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And I'm laying under my sleeping bag, and I'm praying to the 140,000 Hindu deities and the Krishnas and the Allahs and anyone else I can even think of, saying, somebody please help me. Laying there for a while. I don't know, 10 minutes go by, and then a dog gets on the other side of me, and he's barking and losing his mind too, and I'm just like, oh my God, what am I gonna do now? I'm gonna die in India, in the middle of nowhere, no one's gonna know. So I think to myself, all right, well, maybe I can spring to my feet, and like brace myself, and get ready to fight the dogs off if I have to. Not likely, I'm not a fast mover, I'm a non-violent man, I couldn't beat up this dog, let alone 2 giant mountain Himalayan dogs. So I'm laying there for a little while, and I was like, all right, well, I can't move. Hopefully they're gonna get bored and think I'm a rock or something and take off. But I'm shaking in fear and I'm telling myself, Chuck, rocks don't shake, rocks don't shake. You gotta calm down, man, you gotta calm down. And then I hear silence. I think, all right, this is my chance. I peek out of my sleeping bag after a couple minutes and there's nothing out there, and I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. And I grabbed up all my stuff and I'm pulling up this mountain and get up to the top, and I look back and the dogs are following me. Very slowly, they're not running at me yet, but they're coming. So I'm going down the road, I'm thinking to myself, man, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't have anywhere to go, I don't know anybody in this entire area except for 2 drunken Australians on the other side of town at an artist retreat. So I'm walking and I see this big fenced in area, a big fence, you know, about this tall, and I think to myself, well, I can climb into that yard and then I can sleep in there and the dogs won't be able to get me. So I'm walking over there and I'm thinking, do I really want to do this? And the next thing I know, the dog's running, you know, full speed at me. I don't know if it was really full speed or half speed, but I know I was fully terrified. So I dropped all of my stuff and I scurried up this fence and I'm looking down and this dog's barking at me. He's like right there at my feet, and I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? Eventually he realized there was absolutely no way he was gonna be able to get up this fence no matter how hard he tried, no matter how delicious that may have tasted, and he gave up. And him and his friends, they went off and, you know, did whatever they do, probably harassed other backpackers like me. But now it's still 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm standing there and I still have nowhere to go. I'm like, oh shit, I can't sleep there, the dogs are gonna eat me, I can't sleep over there, dogs are gonna eat me. It's like, what am I gonna do? And then this Indian man comes out and he's chatting with me, and now he doesn't speak any English and I don't speak any Hindi, so this conversation that we had didn't quite happen in these words, but for the sake of the story, it went like this. He says, hey man, what are you doing out here? I said, I'm sleeping down here by the water. He says, oh, good job, no one will bother you. I said, no man, the dogs will bother me. He says, oh no, dogs, you can't do that. And he says, you know what man, you can sleep right here. I'll be here for a couple hours and you'll be safe. I said, okay. So I rolled out my bag and I'm sleeping right there on the ground, and a couple hours later I wake up and he's taken off, and you know, I waved to him all happy because I thought we had a connection. I thought we were friends because he was the only that guy that could help me. So he leaves, and I go back to sleep, and then I wake up again, probably about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's daylight now. I get out of my sleeping bag, and I see these two Indian men sitting in their lawn chairs, and they don't speak any English, and I don't speak any Hindi, but they had big smiles on their faces, and I had a big smile on my face, and it's like, hey guys, and I'm waving to them, and they're waving to me, and I can't tell them what the hell happened the night before. They can't ask me what I'm doing out there, so all I could do was pack up my stuff and carry on down the road and continue the rest of my trip through India. And that was the time I was almost eaten by dogs while sleeping outside in India to save $3. Dun-dun-dun-dun! 100% true, yeah. Yeah.